What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going down. Make sure y'all to like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Definitely apologize for not dropping a video. Literally had to take mental health day. I've been taking more so mental health days with me getting out a little bit more. As I have issues, with the mental health. If you do have any of those issues, make sure you just get out, get some sunlight. People used to tell me that all the time, and I wouldn't believe them. I wouldn't believe them at all. With doing that. I see people like, that's not gonna help me. Going outside, it's just me going outside. It definitely does. Going out for a drive. Just going to a gas station, going to a store. Going somewhere and just taking care of yourself. If it's to buy a candle, to buy soap. To buy a little snack, something. It definitely helps. It helps the mind. So definitely do that if you do. It is currently 2:30 in the morning right now. If y'all do see me looking over. I am looking at the baby monitor at, a 1-year-old. So, definitely just making sure she's okay. She'll be 2 September 13th. But, I still gotta, keep check on my babies. But y'all got it here. I don't know if y'all remember this. Y'all see the, judging by the title. This is before, they raided his house. Check out what this John Bolton had to say. Check it out.
So one of the things we saw play out at the White House today, sir, was, of course, Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, go to the podium and all but accuse Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, of treason over what happened with Russia. Can you give us a sense of how you're thinking about this? Do you think there's any credibility to what Gabbard was saying today?
Well, just for full disclosure, I have never thought Tulsi Gabbard was competent to hold that job. To use a technical term, she's a Fruit Loop. And I think what is clearly motivating her here is not just to help distract from the Epstein matter, but to help save her job. And that was my very first reaction. And I say that not to indicate any particular insight, but to say it's a no-brainer. That's why she's doing it.
So not only does he call Tulsi Gabbard a Fruit Loop, and it, a massive, backfire. This from Dinesh literally says John Bolton was really enthusiastic about the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago, saying no one is above the law. Says here, I wonder if he feels the same way about today's FBI raid on his house. Check out what this John has to say on here.
Any given moment. But I don't think he cared about the classification system. I don't think he appreciated the sensitivity of this information, and he didn't appreciate the sensitivity of how it was often acquired, the so-called sources and methods. So this had been briefed to him before I arrived. It was repeated frequently. I think it simply had no impact on him whatever.
There's a couple of different ways that people think about this, and people who are not friendly to the president who think about what's happened here. And one of them is, Donald Trump, master thief, criminal, running some kind of elaborate conspiracy to bring things out of the White House and keep them secret, for potentially for political or financial gain. There are other people who his attitude is Trump is chaotic. He's careless. He's not that smart. He took these things almost by mistake, and now he's basically stamping his feet and saying they're mine. I don't want to give them up. Give me a sense of where you think the truth lies with respect to Trump's intelligence, carelessness, and the degree to which he might have brought motive to bear on taking these documents out of the White House and keeping them for this long at Mar-a-Lago.
Well, it's very hard to speculate on motive other than that he liked cool things. He saw things so he wanted to take them, and he was pretty much able to take them, and not just on classified information matters, on all kinds of things that crossed his desk. Some days he liked to eat a lot of French fries. Some days he took classified documents. He wanted them. Why did he want them? Because
okay, so I showed y'all those last two clips just for the simple reason that they throw around this no one is above the law. This isn't the first time we've heard it. We've heard it especially from yours truly, Letitia James. But y'all got to hear this is a post from Benny Johnson, and a post he posted Dan Bongino and Cash Patel react to the early morning raids on John Bolton's home and office. People are going to jail. This is a post by Dan Bongino saying public corruption will not be tolerated. And then Up under it, you have FBI Director Cash saying no one is above the law. At FBI agents on mission. So you got it there. This from Nick Sorter says the FBI is still conducting their raid on John D.C. area home and office over 5 hours after the operation began. These agents are tearing through absolutely everything, y'all. Check it out.
And they're obviously still there, as you can see. They're zooming in from the camera view that we have right outside of the home. This was an investigation that was ordered by FBI Director Kash Patel, a Trump administration official, telling the Post, but asking to remain anonymous. Now, what's interesting is right before this took place, FBI Director Kash Patel posted this cryptic message on social media as he said, quote, "No one is above the law. FBI agents on a mission."
John isn't the only one that they're that this is going to, as I can see, just this comment right here. I wonder who will be next. We're gonna see, and trust and believe. As they're seeing this, they're doing this to John. I guarantee they're trying to cover their tracks. Everything that they're doing. But I'm telling y'all, gonna make it happen. Definitely gonna make it happen. Says here John Bolton was under investigation during the Trump administration for publishing classified documents in his book. He violated his NDA, which is a federal crime. I'm telling y'all.
I did not realize this, but there was a probe going on when President Trump was in office last time because John Bolton wrote a book. And he violated his NDA, the president said, in doing it. And he felt as though there were classified information in that book. The probe dropped when Joe Biden became president. So is this picking up where that left off, David?
It's possible. I don't know with 100% certainty, but it is notable, guys, that John Bolton, Ambassador Bolton's security clearances were stripped earlier this year by President Trump. Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, took that security clearance away. They had concerns. The administration had concerns about Ambassador Bolton still being able to access some of these documents and have some of those security clearances. It's also notable that John Bolton had a security detail as well. Because of the threats from Iran on his life, that security detail, that government federal paid security detail, was also taken away by President Trump. So Bolton was to have to get some private security. So we're looking outside his home right now in Bethesda, Maryland. We're told that Ambassador Bolton's being cooperative. He's not under arrest, not in custody at this point. But still notable, 7 o'clock on a Friday morning, that the FBI all of a sudden is knocking on the door of John Bolton's home. And I also will say it's important that, this is not just the FBI able to do this. A judge has to sign off on this. There are other layers involved here. It's not just the FBI says, let's go to John Bolton's house tomorrow morning and see if he has any classified documents. There are certainly more procedures in there. A judge and others would have had to sign off on this, as well as people at the Justice Department, presumably Attorney General Pam Bondi. No comment right now, though, from the Justice Department. No comment from the FBI as well.
So this...
Telling y'all, it's going. The thing is I feel like it's definitely going to get worse. Good. Obviously, we loving it. And the thing is, it's not. No, I don't want people to think that it's more so of a get back. I've been seeing that a lot. I look at it more as handling business. I really feel like it's more so a handling business. It's a lot of corruption going on, a lot of mess that's going on that definitely needs to be handled. I told y'all, I always say in my videos, one thing about it is that I absolutely want to see action, and we clearly we getting there a little bit. We definitely getting there. It says this is posted by Benny Johnson, said FBI agents have now swarmed John Bolton's Washington D.C. offices following the early raid.
And Ambassador. So this is a live shot of his office in Washington, D.C., and we're looking right now, per our colleagues from Fox Digital on the scene, a couple of FBI agents loading some stuff into cars and leaving the scene. So clearly not as big of a presence at his Bethesda home, but notable that he was spotted at his office earlier today. We're told, I want to be very clear, that he's not facing any charges at this moment. He is not in custody. He is not under arrest at this moment. So we've reached out to his attorney. We're reaching out to Ambassador Bolton himself.
And one thing about it, like I said, seeing action, y'all. I mean, it's nothing that you can too much complain about. We seeing action. Action is definitely getting done. This is another post by Benny Johnson saying Jonathan Turley says John Bolton can be hit up with about 20 years in prison over national defense information. Check out what Jonathan Turley has to say.
It is intriguing here because these are long-standing allegations that the book indicated or referenced classified material that he may have acquired when he was in the administration. We're not clear as to what that is, but it would suggest that it could be national defense information. The reason that's important is that creates a heightened potential penalty. So you can have penalties that range from 5 to 20 years. 20 years tends to be the sentences for concealing information, obstructing justice. Simply having classified information can weigh in at about 10 years. And there are often multiple counts because each of those documents can be charged separately. So there is a strange history here. So you had these allegations coming out as early as the first Trump administration. Then there was an allegation that the Biden administration essentially scuttled a further look at this case. Right. And now we have this new development. But we really don't know if there's something that has occurred most recently, whether they uncovered something that they believed is sort of evergreen, that this is still a viable criminal case.
So
y'all got it right there. Definitely got it right there. So when the people say, he's not in custody, he's not arrested, that trust and believe. This is the start. It's definitely a start. It's definitely a start, and just one of those things. I'm gonna tell y'all why in a minute. Check out Jesse Waters, y'all.
This might have nothing to do with classified documents or about classified intelligence that Bolton printed in his book. Trump Justice Insider Mike Davis says Democrats, rhinos, and reporters who think this raid on John Bolton is about his book will be very embarrassed when the search warrant becomes public. Primetime's hearing Bolton was making a lot of money from overseas and may have been trafficking in intelligence. That wouldn't be putting America first. Constitutional scholar Jonathan Turley, who we just heard from, says Bolton could be looking at up to 20 years in prison. So Bolton should take his own advice and take a big, beautiful, deep breath.
I think it's important that everybody take a deep breath here. This is a very serious matter, and it would be better if
this might have.
The funny thing is that he isn't the only one that does this. But the funny thing is, y'all, is that they're literally saying everything to make it just look like they're just so innocent. And it's all backfiring on them. All backfiring on them. John Bolton has a post here, Mr. Post here saying John Bolton claims Obama is innocent. But people are saying that they think Obama is definitely the ringleader of the entire thing. You got another post literally saying good luck, deep state. It says here, John Bolton is in serious trouble. And I'll bet Clapper, Comey, Obama, others are, all a part of the same investigation. So I do feel there will be more raids. I do know for a fact, judging by and seeing different posts I haven't showed y'all yet, there is definitely about to get crazy. Definitely about to get crazy. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the next video that will be dropping today. Definitely much love to everybody. As y'all can see, I'm kind of, stumbling on my words a little bit. It is, like I said, it's 2:30 in the morning. And honestly, I had a day. Definitely had a day, but I enjoyed myself too. Like I said, if y'all ever need, a person, to talk to, anything like that when it comes to mental health, trust and believe. I know it sounds crazy. I'm going through it myself, but always here to talk. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe. I definitely appreciate y'all. Much love to everybody. Catch y'all next one.